back, everybody. I'm Jackie Rossetti with the City of Somerville. And
I'm Renee Rivera with the Chamber of Commerce and Law Offices of Frank Dardino. Hello, everyone. I am so excited about this month's show. It's absolutely fantastic to learn about young starting businesses, how they took their ideas and their talents, developed it from their very homes up to storefronts, open to the public, to the Somerville community and business.
Yeah, and what's really great, like Lisa said, is visited one of each of those. You know, we saw how businesses start really are still working out of their homes and hoping to grow and really successful already, and how businesses started in their homes and have grown to pretty much a chain almost.
Exactly.
And also the great thing about this month or last month is that we got to go to the Chamber of Commerce dinner, which Renesa is a part of, and it was great to be a part of that dinner and to meet some wonderful people and to really see how the Chamber of Commerce helps those businesses grow and to stay in the city. And you know, it's a really great resource for especially entrepreneurs.
Exactly, absolutely. Getting involved with other Somerville businesses, opening up and introducing their fantastic ideas not only to the Somerville community but also Massachusetts and the world, and exposing their wonderful ideas and talent into full-blown businesses, like Jackie said, to storefronts and even chains on one of our guests. And it was absolutely wonderful to see that evolution and see how, you know, successful businesses in the Chamber dinner honoring their achievements and honoring their contributions to the community, such as Marshall Sloan and our honorable mayor, and my goodness, so many amazing businesses. I remember the lady who beautified East Somerville.
Yes, East Somerville Main Streets. That's what's great too about, especially with this month's theme of entrepreneurial and growing businesses, is that the Chamber dinner, as you'll see, honored both longtime businesses like Marshall Sloan, who just had the Trump Fieldhouse dedicated after him, he and his family, and also for, like you said, East Somerville Main Streets and newer green businesses are being honored as well. So it's not just for businesses who have been in the city a long time, it's for entrepreneurial businesses and individuals who are looking to start a business. It's a great tool, and the dinner was really a way to celebrate that. But I mean, back to the matter at hand, the businesses that we did visit for this episode are really great resources. You know, I've visited them, I've worked with them, and it was great to actually sit down and learn how they started.
Yes, and how they developed and grow, how they took their ideas and their talents and just took it to the next level, and how they managed to do that up to, you know, being successful businesses, servicing all areas of the public.
Yeah, you can learn a lot from them, and you can definitely use their services for great means. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in a bit. So welcome back, everybody. As you know, we just discussed, we're interviewing entrepreneurs this week, local entrepreneurs in Somerville, obviously. So today I am here with Julia Cruz and Neil Robert from Good Life Productions, and we are situated in Vegas Square. Hello again, guys. Hi.
Hello.
And Stella here is their junior officer, I guess.
She certainly is.
So Good Life Productions, they are actually working out of their home, and they have a great studio space, as you can see behind us. Julia and Neil have actually done the City of Somerville's welcome video for us, which is a huge hit. So thank you guys for doing that.
That's good to hear.
Why don't you guys just tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll go from there.
So we started the business in 2005. I worked for about 10 years as a broadcast journalist, reporter, and a producer for New England Cable News and over at WCVB. And Neil was on the radio in Boston for about 20 years as a DJ. And at some point in our careers, we both just kind of got to the point where we thought, you know what, we need to do this for ourselves. We'd done it on the air, and we were kind of done doing it on the air. And so we decided to go into business and start our own company. And it's been a lot of fun. We've done a lot of great stuff.
You certainly have the experience. I think we need to recruit them, guys. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but they've done fantastic work. And I was actually speaking to you guys a little bit before we started the show about some projects currently. You said you've been working with Tufts, and you just completed a bigger project.
Well, we just did a piece for the Liberty Hotel. You know, that's where the Charles Street Jail used to be.
Fantastic.
So it was really great because one of the things we really love doing are kind of documentaries, and we love going back to doing history pieces. And so in this particular piece, we were able to go and tell the story of the Charles Street Hotel, or the Charles Street Jail, I should say. Then it became the Liberty Hotel. So we had both the history part, and then we also had a whole thing that dealt with the amenities of the hotel.
Nestled along the banks of the Charles River, in the posh Beacon Hill neighborhood of Boston, the Liberty Hotel is within walking distance to shopping.
And it actually is being played in all their rooms and also is played in their lobby. So it's a cool piece. It combined both of the things we really love to do, which is video production, but also something that deals with the history of a particular place.
And the jail itself had so much history and famous people who stayed there, and there was just so much to it. And then to have this building that was a jail that had criminals staying there all the time and was very, very run down by the time it closed in 1990. And then they turned it all around and sunk $150 million into it to turn it into this absolutely gorgeous luxury hotel. So it was really kind of interesting to see this transformation of the hotel from the jail to this gorgeous hotel.
You've also recently worked with Tufts on some environmental projects, is that right?
Right, we're working with the Tufts Urban and Environmental Policy and Planning Department on a recruitment video to help them recruit students.
And we just did a piece for MIT for their Nuclear Science and Engineering Department, which was turning 50. So there we interviewed a lot of people that were incredibly smart.
We're talking about nuclear science and engineering, which that's one of the interesting things about doing what we do, is we are always learning new things. I mean, we work with all sorts of different companies and families and organizations, and you're always learning about them. And in that case, I mean, we had to learn about nuclear science, fission and fusion and all these things that it was a challenge for us, but it was really very interesting. And yeah, most of those people had more brains in their pinky than both of us combined.
We all got it somewhere. You guys certainly meet a whole host of people. I mean, just doing this, we meet a great number of people in the city, so it must be amazing to meet the amount of people that you do, especially, from all walks of life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even in our respective careers prior to this, we both did. I interviewed all sorts of people, and Neil interviewed all sorts of famous musicians, and now we do it on more of a local level, which is kind of interesting too. We did a piece last year for David Driscoll, who was the outgoing Commissioner of Education in Massachusetts. And so as it was a tribute piece to him for his retirement. And so we had to interview every past governor of Massachusetts, which was really interesting. Yeah, we were like, Jane Swift came over to the house, and we interviewed Bill Weld and Salucci, and it was just really very interesting to kind of talk to these people on a different level when they're not in office anymore, and kind of get their, we always like to ask them a few questions that have absolutely nothing to do with what we're doing, because you got them there, you might as well talk to them for a while.
I think one of the more interesting things about this, and certainly with broadcasting as well, and I'm sure you're finding it with this particular program, is you get entree into places you would never go before, and you get to speak to people about what they do. Whereas if you were either just a customer or you were an employee, or even somebody like an employee, you would never really get that same one-on-one deep conversation that you can actually get into.
See, it's not just about the perks, guys. It's all about who you meet in this job, and you realize that these are my idols now, right here, because this is us on a bigger level, and I love it, and this is so great to be able to speak to you guys.
Thank you.
Curious, how many projects do you get in a typical year? Are they, do they overlap, or you just have a few big ones that you focus on?
You honestly never know. We've been in business for 3.5, almost 4 years now, and it's been interesting to watch and see how some years, the first couple of years it was just about getting whatever we could get our hands on. And as time has gone on, I don't want to say we've able to pick and choose, because we still, we want to get as many projects as we can get done, but we can kind of focus what we do onto things that are of interest to us. Like, we love cooking and food, so we have done some projects for restaurants like Red Bones, and we did a project for Jasper White's Summer Shack, and so we really try and, kind of tailor it, because it makes it more interesting for us. What we try to do, more or less, it just kind of happens that way, is that we try to have one big project like the Liberty Hotel or the MIT piece that's a 20-25 minute kind of piece that's going to take a long time, and then fit in other smaller shoots. We actually produced a piece for Neil's stepfather when he was turning 75.